On this episode of Goliath Fishing, got my best friend Trev with me, and we decided to do something crazy. I wouldn't say crazy, but something you and I've never done before. Something different. We decided to take my boat from Cape Coral and drive it all the way through waterways to Caloosahatchee. And from there, our plan was to go from Caloosahatchee to Stewart by waterways.
I mean, this truly was an adventure. Like we said it going in, that was that was the special aspect of this whole thing, is it was something that me and you hadn't done before, and it truly was an adventure. I mean, rarely do I like being on a boat for hours not fishing, but you know, I truly had a blast, you know, going through the lock system, you know, learned a couple things.
So yeah, we started our adventure and we dropped in the water. 5 minutes into our trip, we already had rainstorms pushing right behind us.
Literally.
So this whole trip, we knew we were gonna just constantly encounter things we weren't expecting. And the first thing is this brutal wind. Second thing is this giant pressure. And we're not even an hour into our trip. We have no idea what we're doing. I mean, we know, but we really don't know. All right, screw it. This lightning's coming.
So yeah, we started with that. I think we stayed dry for the first like 10 minutes of the trip.
Oh yeah.
And it literally dropped, 10 degrees. It felt like that.
Oh.
I mean, so I'm up in the tower, pretty much getting waterboarded by my buff, hitting the rain, just pushing through, hoping that the next lock has some type of shelter because there was nothing for miles. And instead we found a bridge that was completely made out of
Grates.
grates on
Metal
top.
grates.
So,
Covered in spider webs from Lord of the Rings. Covered. I was like, I'm gonna come up and help you. Hold us. Oh no, I don't think I'm gonna help you that much.
This was horrible planning. We decided to take a break under a bridge with poles in it. Literally. Honestly, it's the best thing we got for miles. For miles. I'm actually wearing this life vest, not in case I fall in the water, but in case I fall in the boat that's full of water.
and there was nowhere to stop for us to like open anything up because like we packed everything on this boat. Like our plan was to live off this boat for a whole week. I've never been so confident in any boat I've ever owned. So I was like, man, we can do this and everything. I actually calculated, and Ron, the owner of Bonefish, you know, this boat is pretty new. So we knew it was fuel efficient, but we really didn't know how well. So when we started this trip, we got extra fuel and everything like that, but we still got it. Still got extra fuel. We literally made it almost 100 miles and we still had a quarter tank of gas when we got back. So we got like everything like secured to dry off now. Look at my hat, still soaked, man. Oh, dude, that was
I had half of the choby in this thing. I swear to God.
half of the choby. It was horrible. We're only halfway through. We've already been through a hellacious storm. Third wardrobe change, second wardrobe change. Had to change some rain gear along the way. And we still have 40 miles left. It's time to keep pushing. This is only day one. We gotta keep pushing. Let's go. You just see all the water they actually use through these levee systems. This is a giant lake in the middle of Florida that we're going to. If you're from Florida, you know all about it. This thing's sucking us in right now. Now you're gonna notice every time we go around these locks, we're wearing life jackets. That's something we had no idea about.
Found that out at the first lock.
First lock, we found out two things. One, you cannot fish by the doors, and you have to wear life jackets.
Yeah.
So we threw right there on that lock, and I think it was your second cast. You got a snook?
Yep.
Nice, Trev. Is that a snook? That looks like a snook. Nice, Trevory. Look at you. Bro, we're like literally 30 miles up the river too, and we're still catching them. That's awesome. Oh, got him. Good job, Trev.
Need the net? Yeah, I mean, you didn't even catch them. You just threw them in the boat. Dude, look at you. Dude, pretty sweet. So you may be wondering why we're wearing our life jackets. Actually, we didn't know until we were at the first one, but you have to wear them when you're at these giant locks. Makes sense. Well, as we were waiting for another big boat to come through, Trev just started casting and landed 2 nice snooks. So I was like, dude, give me the rod, let's try it.
I got my juices flowing now.
For real. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. It's so hard to fight a fish with a life jacket. Nice little guy. You know, not a lot of people know this, but snook can actually live in fresh, salt, and brackish. So it makes sense that we're catching them here, and they're a nice little chill to them. Another thing about snook is if you see this line right here, this giant vertical line, it's actually a bunch of little sensors for them, and that's where they figure out the movement of their baits. Generally, when they eat, they swoosh to the side. They never hit it dead on. And the reason is because it is abundant of sensors. And they'll go all the way down the tail. And you'll see how they break up right there.
That was awesome. We rolled up to the scene and we saw some action. And just, you know, it doesn't always work like that.
No, lo and
You know,
behold.
so
You caught your personal best snook, and so
personal
did I.
best and a life jacket.
And a life jacket.
And a life jacket.
That was
That was hard.
that was hard.
That was hard,
You have
man.
no idea how hard it like
Just to
restricts
cast, and then you've got the little strap thing.
Yes.
So every time you get back, oh, it was tough.
you. It was tough. And on artificial. Each one is different in its own. First one barely took any water, moved right through. This one, they're raising it actually 8 feet up. It's crazy to think, for sure. So this water rushes in quick. Kind of cool though to see the life, man. There was so much life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Almost too much life, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Right. So we get to the final lock, and it really was like Jurassic Park. It opened up to Roland's Marina, which is an awesome marina.
awesome.
It was really cool. And we sat there our first night, and Scott Martin set this all up. I mean, he really got me the lodge and everything for our first leg of our trip. And he said, you know, I got my buddy Chad. He's a really, really good dude there. I'll have him come meet you guys. I'll just give you his number, you know, he'll tell you where some fish are at. And I was like, perfect, because I don't really know Lake O at all.